In this piano tutorial, we will be learning the song Refiner by Maverick City Music, and this song is in the key of E major. And I'll basically go through the song, sharing my approach, as well as some gospel or jazz chords that we can use, not necessarily in this song, but within the context of the chords of this song, okay? It's always nice to learn different movements, different progressions, different passing chords within the context of a song. That way it's easier to memorize, okay? So let's start off with the first verse. And it's a very simple verse, a very simple progression that goes from the 1 to the 4 chord, and it basically repeats, right? Back to the 1 and back to the 4. But the most important thing here to pay attention to is the melody, right? Because the way that we voice the chords are based on the melody. The melody actually goes like this, right? If the altar's where you meet us, right? And if we pay attention to when the actual 1 chord begins, it actually lands when the melody is on F sharp, right? Right? That's when the 1 chord comes in. So a very easy trick that we can do to voice a chord, right? We can have the melody as well as the chord, and right here we notice it's basically just an E major add 2 chord, right? That's one option that we have for the voicing, but we can also add the major 7th, right, and make it a major 9th, and we still have the melody up top. So that's one voicing that we have, right? And if we decide to open up the chord a bit more, we can begin including drop 2 voicings. For example, for E major, instead of playing it as a the root position triad, major triad, we can open it up and play that drop 2 voicing, okay? Da 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 da. Right, we're right here. We're playing an E major 9, da, and then since the melody actually goes back up to this A flat, I resolve it into a regular E major chord, okay? Da, 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 da. Now the next chord is a 4, but the melody goes, take me there, right? Take me there. And it's on A flat or G sharp, right? So this is where we play a 4 chord under the melody of A flat. And as we can see, it's simply just a major 7, okay? So again, following the same steps, we can open up the chord a bit more and play something like this, right? A major 9. Da, 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 da. Right? We're not necessarily playing the entire melody, right? That would be a little bit redundant since there's sometimes or most of the times a singer singing the actual melody. So let's just stick to the bass chords, okay? So da 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 da. Take me there, take me there. It's an offering, right? Very simple. 1 to the 4, right here. My life is here, and I'll be. This is where the melody changes a bit, and I'll be a living, right? In this case, it goes to the A. And I'll be a living. And what I like to do here is playing an A major over an E, right? The slash chord, A major. In this case, filling it up a bit more, I added the 2. So, and I'll be a living. And then I resolve back to the 1. So, and I'll be a living sacrifice. And we're back to the 4. You're a fire. And this is where the progression changes, and the basic numbers for this part of the song are you're a fire 7, then 3, I 4 2. All right, so 7 3 4 2. All right, so the way that I play this specific progression, I actually play the melody, and for this 7 chord, I'm basically playing a 5 over 7, okay? And this 5 is actually voiced in a way that it's neither major nor minor, right? I'm basically playing a sus chord. As you can see, there's no third. The third is actually going to be played by the left hand, which makes it ultimately a major chord. All right, so you're a fire, right? And then for the 3, we're basically doing the exact same thing, only on the 1/3 chord, right? We're playing an E sus2 over the 3. And then for the 4 chord, still following the melody, I wanna be consumed. Since the chord starts with this B on top, I want, right? The A major is going to have that B up top, making it an A major 7 sus2. I wanna be consumed. And then the 2 chord is an F sharp minor 11, okay? So once again, and a slight variation that we can do for this exact progression is something like this, right? In this case, we're doing a counter melody because we're not playing the exact melody, but something that pairs up with it, okay? So you're a fire, and then for the 3 chord we do, right? And I love this chord because of this very dissonant interval right here between the E flat and the E. So and then we're back to the 4 and then the 2. Okay, so let's get into the chorus of the song, which goes, I wanna be, and these are the basic chords, right? We go from the 4, I wanna be 4 4 1, so, or 4 4 3 6 7 1, da 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 da, 4 4 3 6 7 1, right? Very simple. 4 3 6 7 1. But the chords that I use here, again, based on the melody, I wanna be tried by. Right here we have the option of making it an A major 7, or simply keeping it as an A sus2. I wanna be tried by fire, right? And then for the 3 chord, we're doing that same thing again, where we include an E sus2 over the 3, which is A flat. Okay, so I wanna be tried by fire. Now for the 6, we play a 4 over 6, pure. And then the 7, it's the same exact voicing, but now on the 7, or 5 over 7, right? B over E flat. And then we're back to the 1. So I wanna be tried by fire, purified. You take whatever you desire. Lord, here the chord changes, and this is actually another of my favorite voicings, right? Where we play basically a 4 over 6, but it's voiced in this way, where we have the 6 and the 4, but then we have a 1 chord in the second inversion, right? We have an E major, but in second inversion, over the 6 and 4, okay? And we get this very nice, smooth sounding voicing for this 6 chord, right? So it's almost a variation of just a regular 6 minor chord, but we take the A flat and we brought it up to an A, okay? And it actually matches up with the melody because the melody is up here, right? You take whatever you desire, Lord, here's my, and we play the 7, life, and we're back to the 1, okay? There's a couple of variations that we can actually do to the same progression, so let's get into that. In that same part that I just finished doing, you take whatever you desire, Lord, can actually go into a 2 chord simply because the 2 and the 4 chord are most of the time interchangeable, right? The reason being is because the 2 chord and the 4 chord have these 2 notes in common. So most of the times we can substitute one for the other. So you take whatever you desire, Lord. But something important is that we're voicing this chord. Again, this 2, even though it's not a 4 chord, we're still voicing it in a way that the melody is maintained, okay? So, Lord, here's my life. And we're back to the 1, okay? And I want to share another movement that actually comes from different gospel songs, right? And take whatever you desire, Lord, here's my life. Right? We wouldn't necessarily use this progression in the song, right? It sounds completely off, but it's a possibility, right? If, let's say, if someone actually sung it in this way, it would still work out. But it's a way that we can basically learn different chords, right? In this case, what I decided to do, I decided to use the melody to actually play this chord right here, which goes from a major 2 to a minor 4, right? That's a common gospel or jazz movement right there. So, right, so major 2, then a minor 4, right, with this minor 6, so A minor 6, and then the 3 chord, which is an A major over A flat. So you take whatever you desire, right? And let's say we want to actually make the chord sound a little bit better. When we play this major 2, it won't be with the melody of the song, but it would sound like this. You take whatever you desire, right? So major 2, minor 4, 3, okay? So you take whatever you desire. And then for the next passing chord, I play this G7, right? And getting a little bit into theory here, the reason why I'm playing this G7 is because G7 is the tritone of C sharp, right? G is the tritone of C sharp, and this C sharp is the secondary dominant, or the 5, of F sharp, right? It's a little bit confusing, right? But hopefully you're catching on. I'm basically using this C sharp as a passing chord, but I'm substituting this passing chord for G. Okay, so to make it more sense, you take whatever you desire. This would be the passing chord, Lord, to get to the 2. But instead of using C sharp, I substituted it for G, okay? So you take whatever you desire, Lord, and we're back to the 2. Here's my life, okay? So let's move on into the next part of the song, which goes, clean my hands, right? 4, purify my heart. 6, I want to burn for you, right? We're playing that 4 over 1, resolving it into a 1, then a 6, only for you, and then a 5, right? Very simple progression. Da, 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 da. All right, so what chords can we use here? Again, maintaining the melody, we can keep it simple. A major, add 2, clean my hands, purify. Instead of playing a 5, we can play a 5 over 7, purify my heart. And then a 6th chord, I'm playing at a C sharp minor 7. I want to burn. Then here we play an A major add 2 over E to resolve to an E like we did before in the song. But there's something else we can do here, right? Instead of playing it as a regular A major, a small trick, if we want to make it sound more gospel, we can make it an A minor, right? I want to burn for you, right? That A minor 6 sounds very gospely, right? I want to burn for you. And then we're back to the 1. Then we play a 6 only for you, and a regular 5 chord, okay? So some passing chords that we can actually include in this section. One of them happens in the beginning, right? Clean my hands, purify my heart, right? We substituted the 5 as a passing chord for the C diminished 7th. And the reason why we're using the C diminished 7th is because we're leading it up to the 6th chord. And something very important to do here is maintaining that melody up here. So I formed the C diminished 7th all on top of this melody note of E flat. So alright, so we get to the 6, da, 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 da. Then we play the 4 to the 1. Then over here we can include another passing chord. 6 only for you, to get back to the 4, right? So what I did here was only, I went to the 2, and this 2 I voiced it as a F sharp 9 13. Again, I'm still maintaining the melody up here, and that's how I voiced the rest of the chord, okay? So only for you. And then for the 5, to make it sound a little bit more smooth, but it won't always work, right? It might throw some people off, so don't go ahead and just use it in the song. We're only using it to learn these chords. So only for you. This B, this 5 chord, I voiced it as a major 13, and that's not something common, right? Usually when we play a 5 chord, to keep it diatonic, the only extra voicing that works, right, the only extension that is diatonic would be the 7, right, or the 9. But in this case I made it a major 7. And I included the 13 as well as the 9th, right? So, only for you. And then we could use the 1 as a passing chord. In this case, same voicing as the 2 that we did, right? We use it on the 1 as a passing chord to get back to the 4, right? And altogether that would sound. Back to the 4. Right, and then from here we go back to purify. Sorry, you're a fire, the refiner. Right, and that's basically the whole song. So what I want to do now, like always, is play the whole song through. I'm going to leave a link to the MIDI of this section of the video. That way you can download it and be able to learn on your own some extra stuff that I may include in this song, okay?